Alright guys, welcome back. Was just setting up that game for you. Some of these players are quite new to this cup, so I had to show them how it's done, you know, get them on the spectator client. But these guys are ready to go. So I'm going to get them to just go out straight away. These are two players that I don't know personally. One of them is from, let me just check for you now. So the first player is Ickeunddu, I'm going to say, who's from Germany. And then we have Raiizen, who's from Romania. So, yep, these players are getting ready. So these are two new names. Don't have Ghost rankings either, so both of these players probably haven't played in many tournaments that are recorded by us. So only majors. But these guys are ready to get going. So let's see what these players bring. I'll always try and find you guys the best matches I can, especially with the players that you are fans of. But sometimes it's a little harder because these guys do start their games without me. So next round, hopefully we'll be getting either, say, RDU, Nick Slay, Doki as well, those three players. I've casted all of them in the past, so I've seen what they're capable of. Sorry about that. People asking me admin stuff. If only they'd read the rules, right, guys? So yeah, this is game number one. We have mid-range druid coming from Ickeunddu. And they call him Ike to make things a little easier. So Ike's going to be leading with the mid-range druid, and Raiizen is going to be playing that Zulok. So this should be in Raizen's favour, as we all know. We've probably played this match thousands of times between us, and the druid usually loses this game on board because it's just too much going on for him to deal with, not enough removal spells like Hellfire and stuff. They don't have stuff like that to deal with it. Flame Imp's a great pickup. I wouldn't mind coin Flame Imp here, but the only issue is you don't have a turn 4 play. So maybe keeping a hold of the coin is the better choice here. Ike does have some stuff to deal with the early pressure. However, Savage Roar and Ancient of Law are very slow cards, and the combination of Implosion, Argus, and that Flame Imp could prove to be potential problems in the future. Alright, just a nice easy trade there. Get that off board. Looks like it might just be Hero Power Wrath play. May hold on to the Wrath for something a bit more threatening, like a Knife Juggler. See how patient Ike is going to play here. And just passes holding on to that Wrath. Second Argus into the hand there. A little bit clunky. Would have liked to see maybe a Haunted Creeper, for example. But doesn't find one. Flame Imp going to come down here and potentially set up an Argus next turn. But the one thing Raiizen does have in his advantage, he does hold that coin, so he could do coin Squire into Argus on one of the other minions. The Wrath is going to take care of the Flame Imp, but that Peddler is going to stick around. May even see a Implosion instead. Sorry guys, I have someone pestering me about admin. Just going to contact our admin, Nidra. So if any of you guys are watching who are playing in this tournament, Nidra is our admin. You can speak to him on the Discord channel, GosuCup EU, -EU. So be sure to do that if you do need any help.
The light protects me.
Alright, sorry, I just missed all that stuff then. I've just been handling that little problem. But it looks like Ike is doing pretty well in handling this board. Not too bad at all. This Argus is going to shake things up a little bit. This swipe isn't going to get the value it would usually get. So it's going to create a few problems. And now he's setting up a potential Sea Giant going into the future. Ancient of Lore, though, is going to help him dig. And yeah, he does find some decent cards. Big Game Hunter is going to be able to respond to that giant. Power Overwhelming is going to let this 1/1 get some value with the trade there. And not bad so far for Raiizen, a lot of pressure. But Ike does have some responses. Big Game Hunter is going to be able to deal with that Sea Giant. What's going to follow up? Probably Druid of the Claw here just to create a bit of defense going forward. That Ancient of Lore is going to find tremendous value in the future, especially if Raiizen decides to commit the Owl this turn to make things easier to trade. And he's going for the Owl. Oh, nope. He's a little hesitant. Maybe he's thinking, if Ancient of War comes down, how do I deal with that guy? But Raizen's a man of the moment. That little Owl's going to hoot away that Druid's Taunt. Goes for a nice clean trade there. I prefer him to use the Argus here. Keep the Taunters up, make things awkward. Depends how much he values for the extra health. In this situation, I guess like the worst thing that he could possibly be hit by now is Azure Drake Swipe. But if he's going to Azure Drake Swipe, he's going to hit the Argus. But it doesn't matter since the Loatheb is going to lock him out. And Ancient of Lore, Big Daddy himself, going to uproot and slow things down for Raiizen here, which is what he needs. He needs to slow him down, and this might be Ike's opportunity to get back into this game with these kind of heavy hitting Druid minions and so forth. Argus is going to come down and create some extra protection. Just trying to get some durability on this board to fight back the powerhouses coming from Ike. Direwolf Alpha is going to make that Ancient of Lore seem like a nothing as it gets cleared up here. And once again, Raiizen is fighting back. This swipe is going to do some tremendous work though. Be able to clear this board up very nicely. Swipe on the Direwolf Alpha. Or the Argus, it doesn't really matter. One of them is going to be taken out. Gets to clear up the remaining part of the dog. Maybe with an Innovate Hero Power if he wants to. And now things are looking great. Wait, what's... Okay, so a bit of a misplay there from Ike. Secret Sin wasn't on point, but he missed 3 damage. But I don't think it's going to matter too much at the moment since he has the board intact. And Force of Nature Savage Roar sitting in Ike's hand, and that is all he needed to finish off this game. And Ike takes the bad matchup first. Well played to him there. And boosh, boosh, boosh. There goes down the Warlock. So there we go. First game going to Ike. And a pretty convincing game from him. Not bad at all. So the Druid takes the bad matchup first. Can't complain there. I mean, if your Druid, if he lost to the Zoolock, he would have just been like, oh, well, you know, it happens. But actually winning it is a very good result for Ike. So Raiizen will have to play that Zoolock once again and see what else these guys have got cooking. Like, I don't get any classes from these players. It just creates... It's just more time wasted. I think it's better if they just surprise me. It's more fun for me as well if they do. So, it's a big mystery for me. I know what classes they play by the ones they play in the matches as they come to me. But the metagamers kind of had a bit of an interesting turn recently. I think the Winter's Championship has demonstrated how the Asian metagame is a lot different. A lot of Control Warriors, a lot of... well, everyone brought Druid. It's no surprise. but also a lot of anything paladin as well. So it's just there's still a bit of diversity going on. I think everything's kind of locked in the top 10 decks, but people are mixing it up just to counter each other. And it looks like a freeze mage coming from Ike here in game number 2. And the druid is going to come back down for Raiizen. So Raiizen once again is... Well, no, Raiizen played the warlock, so Raiizen has switched over to his druid. And he has found a good matchup once again. The Zulok versus the druid should have been an easier time for him. But it didn't quite work out that way. And now Ike stares down yet another bad matchup, but he's already proven to us he can win these matchups when he needs to. So let's see how they get on. Slow start for Raiizen here, not getting that wild growth, not getting any minion pressure down at the moment. Might see big game hunter next turn if he doesn't find it. Don't mind Doomsayer here at all. But the only issue I find is, what is the druid going to play on turn 3? Other than a shade that you'd be afraid of. And we're going to probably see Big Game Hunter come down. Or Wild Growth. Wild Growth's a lot better. It gets that off the top. And Doomsayers can stay in hand for now. Acolyte of Pain. I would like to see Arcane Intellect instead. Although Acolyte Pain does actually put something on the board. Which is something that... would be the first player to actually drop something. So I don't mind that either. Doomsayer is going to lock him out from the turn 5 play. That's quite heads up too. I like it.
I must safeguard the law.
So it is April Fool's today. That is something to note. And some new cards have been released. If you guys have any thoughts on them, let me know. At Aquablad HS, Thing from Below and Reverse Grip. I'll have a close look to them in the break, but very good stuff. First Silence comes down on Doomsayer. So that's gone. Harrison Jones in Raiizen's list as well. Maybe targeting those warriors and paladins that become so popular recently. Forgotten Torch on the Drake, don't mind that at all. Gets to ping it as well. Still going to get at least 2 card draws from the Acolyte. I think you can just ping the Drake, right? And then run it into... Well, yeah, kind of, I don't know. I guess you could have pinged the Drake and run the Acolyte into the Keeper. Kind of does the same thing. And then he has to either use the Keeper again to trade, or he has to use Hero Power. I think I would have preferred it that way, but Dr. Boom going to come down from Raiizen. Get that pressure going. Second Doomsayer with the Frost Nova, going to try and clear this up. Is there anything in Raizen's hand that can deal with this? Not by the looks of it. Swipe, Savage Raw, Hero Power is not even an option. I think this is just going to be a locked out board. Could go for the card draw in Ancient of Law, so he doesn't completely waste his turn. But you're throwing a 5/5 at Doomsayer, which is not great. But none of these Doomsayer is going to tank those boom bots. Only does 4 damage, not bad. Now Forsen drops onto an empty board. Going to hit some juicy stuff there. Frostbolt hits Nice Lance as well. Gets Alex. So Alex is playable next turn. If he finds an Antonidas, things are definitely going to be very shaky for him. Swipe. Is that a Raven Idol? No, Living Roots. So Swipe Living Roots does deal with this problem. Could go for Hero Power as well if he's expecting Alex. He's going to be Alexed anyway. And then he squeezes out the Shade. I think I prefer it that way. Alex Straza gonna come down here. Big Game Hunter sitting in the hand ready. Going for the... Alright, so just going for the damage right now. I quite like this. It's kind of like if Ike is kind of saying I have what I need in my hand to finish this game. So we can basically a defensive Ancient of Law come down for the heal. Followed by that Big Game Hunter. So maybe this is a little bait coming from Ike.
I've got the beast in my sight.
But no damage to finish him off. So a little bit more removal needs to be used here. Flame Strike into ping. Will be a nice way to respond. May just go for the Blizzard instead. Oh no, just fishing here. Into... Okay, Ice Block. I quite like keeping hold of the Foulness for that extra burst. He does pump up these 2 to 4, dealing 8. So we just need to find another... Well, another Ice Lance to finish the game. Playing on thin ice here, Ike, but doesn't go for the full removal. But I like the initiative of trying to win the game now. He kind of committed to that last turn, so he's been consistent with his game plan. Oh, I'm stuck on the Druid bug. I think this will clear up soon. Oh, it's just... Yep, there it goes. Very slow turn from the Druid here. See if he can pop that block. So what does he have? Doesn't want to commit the Savage Roar. She goes for the Living Roots finish. I like it. Pops the block. Keeps the Savage Roar for a little bit later. See if he needs it. So Ike might just need to find that extra piece of damage. Keep him in the game. He does have the Ice Block, so he does have another turn. But he is going to need some card draw. So he gets 10. Oh, I think that's actually it. So he gets 10 from just these two with Falnos. The Roaring Torch is going to close out the game. And Ike takes game number 2 as well. Another bad matchup won by Ike. Showing his stuff here at the moment. So not bad at all. So yeah, there we go. So Ike is taking a dominating lead so far. With those bad matchup wins as well. Kind of admire that. So Freeze Mage and Mid-Range Druid being used by Ike so far. So he has one more deck left. We've seen both a Druid and a Warlock, Zulok, from his opponent Raiizen. We'll have to see what he has left for us. Freeze Mage, maybe a Rogue. If he's keeping with the kind of combo-orientated decks, Rogue would be quite consistent. If he's playing stuff like Freeze Mage, if he's comfortable with those lists. So I'm going to put my money on a Rogue from Ike. As for Raiizen, he has to win with every deck, so he might as well just kind of get that ball rolling. And it's Warrior. Potentially Patron Warrior? No, it's the Elise Warrior, as it's been dubbed these days. Not Control Warrior, kind of the old traditional one, the more removal armor gain orientated warrior. Fiery War Axe, fantastic start for Ike. Could keep the Revenge as well if he's afraid of stuff like Implosion, which he probably is going to be, in Haunted Creeper. So nice ways to deal with both of them. And second Revenge as well, so you can do kind of double Revenge to clean up the two health minions. While these guys are getting underway, I'm going to have a look at the bracket, see if we've had any more upsets. So RDU has gone through to round 3. Game King has gone to round 3 as well. Nick Slay beat Doki going into round 3. Let's see. Hoy is still playing. I'm sure Gara's in the tournament somewhere. but he may have been knocked out. Ecop has already fallen, Tubias has already fallen. Gara is still playing, so Gara is still in the tournament at the moment. So Fiery Warak's doing what it does best, killing imps, killing aspirants, knife jugglers. Haunted Creeper is a stickier body, he's going to be able to stick around on the board. But Acolyte of Pain interacts with it beautifully, going to get some value from card draws. Demands an Abusive Sergeant or a Power Overwhelming or something like that to be able to stop the value. So I guess you... Peddler potentially? Peddler, coin, egg if you want to create some insurance on the board with the death rattles. Potentially Peddler, see what you find, maybe play that card instead. If it's an abusive, you get to clear up that Acolyte of Pain without it getting too much value. So I'd like to go in first with the Peddler, see what you find, and then deciding what you want to do going forward. So you could coin out maybe the Knife Juggler. Decide to go for the full clear potentially. If he gets a knife here with the Direwolf, you can just clear up the Acolyte. Doesn't hit, so just going to go for face instead. Interesting. So one draw from the Acolyte. He's going to get 2 draws from it. Can't fault that at all. Double Revenge potential. Does take some damage from the Knife Juggler. He does take 2 damage. That is the cost of the Double Revenge. But it does do a full board clear. So, yeah, he got some value from those Revenges.
Buying or selling.
I think Soulfire is your best pick here. Don't like Blood Imp. Especially if you're dropping in the Nerubian Egg. Brawl off the top is a very good pickup, especially against this deck. Even though the double revenge play did cost him 2 extra damage, I think ultimately it was the best line he could have went for. Because he cleared the board, and now he's in a situation where he's staying down 2 damage every turn. Without any assistance from the egg. So you can play a little bit more passively, I think. I think you should probably go for shield block. See what you draw. Maybe just armor up. Kill the 2/2. Like, things have slowed down so much now for Raiizen. But use your War Axe first because the armor makes a difference for that shield slam. So nice sequence in there from Ike. The sustain on this deck is crazy. There's so much armor gain. Really hard for decks like Zulok to just kill the warrior. So Blood Imp Argus potentially, or maybe Blood Imp Bran and then set up for a bigger Argus next turn. I don't mind that too much, but it looks like he wants to start chipping away. Oh, thank you very much, Innkeeper. Did not know that. So when a minion has stealth, you can't hit it. Hearthstone 101. So Justica gets played early. So going to be able to get some more value from that hero power. Going to tank up every turn now if he can. And just snowball health out of the game. Because Raiizen just has to keep committing stuff to the board to push the damage. But the more he commits to the board, the more happy that Ike's going to be when that brawl goes off. But Big Game Hunter deals with the giant. Puts a body down. Could shield block now if he wants to draw a card. Tank up. Maybe just go for the tank up. Get that 4 health. Pressing that hero power every turn is pretty much your agenda at this point, playing this warrior deck. Bran into Argus is going to turn this egg into a bit of a threat. Going to be able to clear up this Big Game Hunter if he chooses and stick around. So it does make it a little awkward for the brawl. But then again, Ike's not in a situation where he needs to brawl, in my opinion. I think he could just go for double bash if he wants now. Just picked up a Death's Bite. Double bash can deal with the Bran. Could even shield slam if he really wants to. Bash brawl. Bash brawl shield slam. Or brawl shield slam. But he goes for this way, so he guarantees the egg doesn't survive. Yep, and it's that guy who's left. Just tank up. I don't think there's need for the shield slam. You have the Death Spite going into next turn, so looking pretty good so far. Owl is a terrible top deck for Raiizen there. Needs something else. Dr. Boom, if only you were drawn before. So instead of playing that Dr. Boom, he found he has to commit a Void Walker. And this gives a brilliant opportunity for Ike to get back into the, to stay in the game. He's already in the game. To stay in the game. And you can bash the 1-3. Oh, no, he can't. He's going to commit to the Death Drive. And this is fine, too. So he gets to tank up once again. Alright, so Dr. Boom time. Brawl has been used. There's going to be another one in the deck. We're going to see if Ike can deal with this situation. But with all that removal in hand, it is not going to be difficult. Yeah, I like popping up the Death Flow at first. Argent Squire, terrible find there. Shield block. See if we can find anything else that's useful.
Do you have the artifact?
Interesting. I quite liked shield slamming the boom and then bashing the egg and then hitting the Nerubian with the weapon and clear up the boom bots instead of dropping the lease. But he's just going to leave the egg alone and do it this way. This way is fine as well. And at least tanks all those boom bots. But you're not really caring when you're sat on 42 health. Low Feb's not a bad pickup. Goes to the Overwhelm and just to put some pressure on the board. Popping up in this egg and dealing some damage. Because this warrior's sitting at 42 health right now. You need to start chipping away at him. But he just seems to have answer after answer. Low Feb is going to lock out both of those bashes. You can still use one. So we could potentially see a Grom coming down this turn. Gore Howl. Who needs Grom when you've got Gore Howl? And this is a card that finds tremendous value against board-centric decks like Zulok. So unless there's some weapon removal pack in, this could just be lights out for Raiizen. Has to tap, needs to find that card. Ink but Boss is a minion, but Implosion was a very slow pickup. He just wants to keep flooding that board, but not finding the draws he needs to do that. I like Gromash, sorry. Gromash just hit him with the slam. Gets that enrage off. Smacks him for 10. Puts him down to 4 health. Double bash will kill him next turn. So now Raiizen needs to find an answer. But I don't think there is one. No matter how hard he tries here, Ike will be taking this 3-0. And he will be going to the next round. And very, very well played from Mike. I was impressed with how he did in this tournament. Fiery War Axe bash, double bash, any way you want to do it, Ike, you've got it. So there we go, guys. Ike takes a 3-0 lead over Raiizen, going through to the next round. Raiizen is eliminated since this is single elimination. So congrats to him. So we're going into round 3 now. We do potentially have RDU on standby for that game, so we can I'll have to see what's going on. I'm trying to get these matches as fast as possible, guys. It is just me and Nigel just trying to work things out. So please stick with us. It's a good opportunity for you to get a drink, pop to the loo. You know, lots of things you can get done in the next 5 minutes. So yeah, if you want the bracket, just let me know. I can link it in the chat and also keep you up to date on what's going on with the scores. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with the next match as soon as possible. So stay tuned.